thing that I wanted to ask you about for sure was the fact that, as I say, you did a piece of work a little while ago where you put up a stencil saying, how's my advertising, along with the number for the one agency that even at all regulates this stuff.
No, that's actually incorrect.
They don't regulate it?
There is no agency to regulate it. There's only a licensing board that gives out license, but the whole problem is they don't follow up on checking the license.
So
there is no...
They frequently expire and then the people keep doing their thing.
Well, no, people will say they're doing one thing, and then they'll do a completely different thing, but there's no resources to actually go inspect these licenses given to see if they're being followed. There's been a couple famous ones in Toronto you may have heard of where Audi, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Audi, yeah.
Set up, they got a filming license, and they just put up big sculptures in public parks, claiming they were doing a film. Companies will, again, they don't care for the rules.
They'll be as cheeky as they can be.
Exactly.
Get caught, they can afford it.
And in Toronto, apparently, according to illegalads.ca, excellent site, something like 90% of the billboards are technically illegal. And I say technically because they do have a permit, but they violate at least one element of the permit. They're being disingenuous. And
okay, so if I may ask the specific question I was going to get at, because as I say this, I find this interesting. There's so many of these illegal ads, and then of course we get mad about a guy who does, well, me get mad, but you know what I mean. People get wound up about Faux Reel and his thing, right? When I think of these illegal ads are far more of an egregious trouble. If you want to say anything's a trouble, what would you say out of all of the illegal advertising that you've either read about or witnessed? What would you say pushed the envelope the most? Which was the cheekiest, most rude and disrespectful of the public, form of illegal advertising you've come across? What seemed to be giving up, the middle finger to the rules as high and mighty as possible?
I would say it's not. It might actually been. I think it was legal, but it was giving a huge middle finger to everyone's intelligence. And this was Adidas's guerrilla gardening campaign,
okay,
which is still going on. I think they actually rented the billboard. But guerrilla gardening is all about improving public spaces with plants that will survive and nurturing it for the long term. That is the ideal, which, again, my guerrilla gardening, I'm not so much. But at least I.
Yeah, but your fire flower box series was quite nice.
But they're probably mostly dead by now, and they get torn out. And I know that a guerrilla gardener, like I'm more on the graffiti side of guerrilla gardening.
Yeah, it's not so much a longer term thing. But okay, so I see what you're saying about the the graffiti gardeners. There's something about the guerrilla gardeners. So come back to this Adidas piece. What have they been doing?
Right. Well, what they did was I believe they actually rented a billboard, and I didn't actually see the ads. I don't think they ran here. I think they ran in the UK. Maybe you can find them online. But had all these, cool youth running around at night putting up these illegal guerrilla gardening ads. But they were so against all the guerrilla garden. Like they were made out of plastic plants. They put up an Adidas shoe. Made out of like vines and ivy and things on a billboard.
A bunch of kids would do.
out of plastic, it's so plastic. It's the worst. It's not environmentally friendly. It's a huge middle finger to the movement and to the groups and to.
As you say, the intelligence of anyone to look at it.
Oh man, aren't we so? I actually believe in that case. They tried to hire. I read it. I don't want to misquote things, but I believe they actually tried to hire a friend of mine to get involved, Richard Reynolds, one of the key people doing guerrilla gardening right now, or at least organizing guerrilla gardening, and he definitely gets his hands dirty. And he was like, no. But since they couldn't just buy their version of Faux Reel, they just got some actors with the right look, and they did the most fake version of it possible. It's just so bad.
It's like the vanilla ice and guerrilla gardening almost. It's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, thanks for talking with us. It's been well appreciated. You've given us a lot of interesting insights and expansions on the history I'm sure many of our viewers are not aware of. Thank you for putting up with sweating away in the protection there. I see
no problem.
Your eyes are misting up. So
it's extra protection.
Thanks for coming in. Right. Anyways, that's us for us.
Already please gather me and take my cares away. Already please to welcome me, just like the flowers in May.